Oh God, yes. Okay. Sorry, Florian, but I think the cards are pretty accurate.
uh, this is the emperor who is usually very self-absorbed.
Welcome to another edition of Psychedelic Sages, where we provide intuitive insights, truth bust, and service watchdogs and guides for topics around spiritual medicines, more commonly referred to as psychedelics.
Welcome to another edition of Psychedelic Sages. I'm Beth Bell.
Stephanie Salt.
And in this episode, we thought we would do an overview of Atai. It's been a while, actually. We did a very deep dive look at them back in February of 2022. And we have not gone back and looked at the details of that report and what came out of the predictions, but we have done just a few little glances over some emails and some of the PR that's coming through TD Ameritrade, and clearly we've looked at the actual stock and the stock price, and there's just some really interesting things happening. We have our own ideas of what they may be, but we're gonna dive into this and do a few readings and take a look. But Steph, if you're okay, I'm gonna just pull up the stock so that we can just sensitize the viewers to where they've been and where they are now.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we can see here that this is the 1 year look back. That back here, they were up at $17.50 a share, and they've plummeted now down to $3.20. Now, we did review just before this episode some of their emails, and the share price that they were touting was $31.33. Now, we recognize that that's potentially when products are on the market, but between then and now, we should still see a rise, not a fall. Clearly, there's been many companies that have had a fall, so they're not alone in this. But we're going to stay focused on what's happening energetically with Atai, because this is not looking good for them.
No, not at all. Not at all. In our deep dive, we really go over some of the reasons why I think Atai is really taking a bath in the market. But let's stick to let's see what the cards have to say.
Okay.
Okay, I have two decks. I'm going to start with this, our regular tarot deck.
Okay.
And then I have another deck I'd like to use too.
And is the question, the intention behind the reading, are we saying specifically what's going on with the share price? Is that what we're putting out
Yes, with Atai, yes.
Okay, so if you go over to your right, over there, right, yep, right there, yep, that's it, right there.
This is a Two of Swords. Okay, this is a blinded, it's like not knowing which way to go in a volatile market, making choices, but not necessarily the best ones. I have a lot to say about this. I'd like to use my other deck, my brand new deck, to just pull another card and see a little bit more. But I really understand what's going on with them energetically. I'm going to do it this way. Let's see. I don't want you to see them. That's better. Okay.
Well, I am feeling all the way over to your right. Yep, right down, right there. It's right, nope, a little bit to your left. Right there. If you can put it's right in front of that, right in front of where you are. Yep, the one in front. No.
Oh, sorry. Wait, this is brand new. Sorry.
That's okay. It was just the one, like, right, if I can still, it's right there. Yep, it's
this one.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep, that one right there.
Aries. Okay. Let's do one more, because that gives us a time frame.
Okay.
Of when they made maybe some bad decisions.
Okay, so it's close to your left side, and it looks pink to me, but yeah, right there.
This
Oh
is
my
funny.
God, isn't that it? Totally. That's what we got in the deep dive a year ago. Okay,
You
we're back.
know, that's why it's so interesting, because in the deep dive, we really went through this. We
Yeah.
said that there would be some issues with Atai because they did not have representation of the divine feminine. They were
Yep.
out of balance.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
of that, it's the old boys school, all testosterone, making the decision with all the same type of energy with one mind. And I said that you need the balance of the divine feminine to be successful. And we did the astrology and we did the numbers to support that. And I predicted that they would take a dive. And this is just confirming that, you know, in the time of Aries, which is a very male dominated sign of this year, is when they made some bad decisions.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
one of them was not to bring the divine feminine on board, to keep it just the same. Aries is very dominated male energy. And I do believe, from what I can remember, there is Aries in Atai's chart, or at least in chart of those that are involved with the company at a high level.
Maybe
So
it's
this
right.
is just confirming their inability to shift. And I do say that inability to pivot, shift in the right direction.
Yeah.
You did mention, Beth, in one of the emails that you read, that Atai had donated some money.
Well, they had donated 500,000 to MAPS, which makes sense for the link. And they'd also donated $100,000 to the Ukraine, which is certainly a nice gesture, but a little bit interesting. So MAPS we can understand, because MAPS is the premier nonprofit agency that is getting these products approved into the market. So I can see helping them with that, but it's still just a little bit interesting that they're donating money when they're a startup themselves and developing these molecules. So
They are so far away from their projections made by the industry experts that it just seems a very odd decision to donate that money when you're in the red.
Yeah, well, it's obviously political. We know that. And I think it goes back to what you've already said, which is they're in a masculine groupthink. And yeah, it's fascinating. I would like to know why they're donating money. As an investor myself, and someone who came in at a higher share price, with the idea of knowing that there's inflation in any share price prediction in a startup, but it's dramatically different where they are now at $3 versus where they were at 17, saying they were going up to 31. So to take this massive dip, and I know that they have a huge amount of expenses going out there. They're a big machine. They're not just a couple of guys in a garage trying to run a company. They've got massive expenses, but where is the money going? They have a bunch of products that are in phase 2. They've got products that are in phase 1, and they've got one that's preclinical. So they've got a lot in their portfolio. I think it was maybe almost 10 total.
Yes.
So we know that they have a lot in development. We know that they're involved with Compass, but even Compass, so they got a new CEO, both of which are men. And I'm not judging that. I think what we're saying here is that there's no representation across the board.
Oh, none.
Yeah.
And I think I remember Atai has a lot of feminine energy in their astral chart, which needs to be supported by physical female energy that needs to feed and balance the male. It's just like the famous yin and yang symbol. You need both now to collaborate with each other and balance each other out. This is clearly not happening in this company. But something you mentioned about the donation, yes, I think you should. Philanthropy is a wonderful thing. But if I was a shareholder, I would not be happy about the timing of their donation.
Yes.
I just don't think it was a smart move. In such a volatile market.
Because their stock was sliding at the time they did the donation. So it wasn't like they were at their heyday. I mean,
exactly.
They also say that they have 489 million as of June that they were still working with in cash. So it's not like they didn't have any cash. We're not saying that either. But if your share prices are dropping, there's something there.
It is. In astrology, the cards are saying, look at the time of Aries. And so I'm going to look, that's probably April. But I remember that Atai's share price was holding steady around $4 to $5, maybe $4.75 around there. But now, $3.20.
Yeah.
I think I think we need to go back to our deep dive and really share what we had discovered back in February.
Yeah. Do you feel inspired to pull a card on Florian and perhaps the new CEO? Would that
Okay.
make sense? Just
Yeah,
out of
let's take a look.
curiosity to see if something comes up.
Yeah, that's a good.
Should we do Florian or should we do the new guy?
I'm
Um,
gonna shuffle here. I think we should do both. Let's look
okay,
at both
I'm
energies. All right, here's the tarot.
Oh, yes. And there was one other thing we want to talk about too. But okay, so we're going to do Florian first, you said?
Yes, let's do Florian first.
Okay. All right. This one's actually right in the middle, right below your lips almost. Yeah, right in the middle. To the right. Right there.
Right here?
Yep. Yeah, right there.
The Emperor.
Okay.
All right.
Seems to
Let's
be
do
the
one
right-
more. I want to use that other deck. I like it. Let's find out. The deck that I don't know anything about. Let's see what comes across in this deck. Florian? Let's
Okay.
clarify Florian.
Yeah. So it's in the middle and it's a black card and it has a little white on it. Yeah, right
This?
there. Yeah. Oh God. Yes. Okay. Sorry, Florian, but I think the cards are pretty accurate.
This is the Emperor, who is usually very self-absorbed because his vision is being quite limited. Maybe he's the reason why the share price is going down. Maybe because he has a lack of vision. The Emperor can be very, very stubborn and not open to other people's opinion. And this card clarifies it. Makes it
Yeah.
be. The other thing is this card rules what? Aries.
Interesting.
Very
Yeah.
interesting. Yes, the 4 is the month of Aries. So interesting that Arian energy is coming in, which is a male dominated. It's all about the head. We're not
Yeah.
moving,
Yeah.
on the journey without distance from head to heart. No, we're not doing that. We're stuck
Yeah.
in the head. We're over analyzing. So
Yeah. Well, the word that came to me loud and clear as these cards came out was the word rigid. And I do believe that Florian has a vision and he's a visionary and he's incredible at that actually, but the rigidity of his do it my way or the highway seems to
yes,
be coming into play here in this reading especially. But that makes a lot of sense that would be a big cause of it because it causes a lot of ripples.
it
Yeah.
does. I think when I did their numerology, they were vibrating toward a 5 vibration, and 5 requires the ability to pivot, change, and move quickly. Well, you can't do it with this kind of energy.
No.
Because it's all about him. It's all about what his vision is, and not necessarily the vision for the company, which is a different vibration all within itself. And we go in that and go kind of deep in that when we did our deep dive. So interesting.
Yeah. Very interesting. But let's stay focused on Atai and let's go to the Chief Financial Officer, Stephen Barden, and see how he's playing into the mix here with Florian. All the way over to your right. Right there. Right down, right there. Yep, that one.
This is a 4 of Wands, and we've got 4 of Swords. We've gotten this before. Let me just get another one for clarifying, like we did before with the new deck. So slippery.
Yeah, I can see that. So this one's a little bit hard to describe to you, but it's over to the right and it looks like it's either black or blue and it has a little bit of smoky white on it right there. See that one right there with the
Here?
little, yeah, it looks like, yep.
Magic. Okay.
Okay, magic with the numbers.
This is interesting. This guy is sleeping. He's resting.
Is it
So
go ahead.
the new CEO is like, okay, we've got to stop the hemorrhage here. And he's actually in meditation, like, what can we do to stop the hemorrhage? What can we do to preserve this asset? We need some magic here. We need a magic wand. But this
Yeah.
is so different energy from this. I have to look at both of these together. It's
Well,
kind of interesting.
my question was going to be to you, is it manifestation magic or is it illusory magic? Is it the illusional magic?
That's right. It
Which
could be
one,
smoke
which
and mirrors.
energy is it going to be?
Exactly. It could be smoke and mirrors. I think we should pull another card. I think it could be smoke and mirrors
Okay.
because he's thinking about it. He's in deep meditation of how do we stop these swords from further piercing our share price.
Yeah.
And he knows that whatever it is, it's not the norm.
Yeah.
Not going to be the cut and paste.
No.
He needs to get inspiration from higher sources. That's
Yeah.
why he's laying down. This knight is laying down. But the fact that this card comes up is really, really interesting because it's in stark contrast with this. So
Yeah.
maybe this will balance him out. But I think we should pull another card and see if it's smoke and mirrors or are they really going to come up with something concrete that is to
Yeah.
So I'm going to put these down and we'll have another deck, but I won't, maybe that's a little too much. Have another deck.
And can I just say, and tell me if you resonate with this, but I would like to, from an intention standpoint, because to some degree, every company has to have a little smoke and mirrors. So it's not, but I think what we really want to get to is the intention behind it, to really make this happen as opposed to just make money. Like make this happen for mental health as opposed to make money. Would that be a fair way to just kind of deepen our intention of the reading, or does it not matter?
I think so, because I think Atai may have been using smoke and mirrors this whole time.
Yeah.
And that's why it has caught up with them.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Right.
And I kind of feel like if he's going to perpetuate that, because obviously they feel like some change needed to happen with the CEO, the finances of the company. So I think that's a fair question. Let's just see, what are the intentions?
Okay. It's to your left. There, right there. Yep.
Yes, look at this. This is a 5 of Cups. There's regret. This makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of regret here. Maybe, I did say the divine feminine is not represented, but they're looking at spilt milk. They're looking at the projections that did not come true, and they didn't. They're looking at pissed shareholders that lost a lot of money. Yeah. So this is the energy of what they're trying to counteract. Yeah. This is what they're trying to fix. Yeah. So very interesting that we've got this. No wonder he's in meditation. He's got to come up with a plan.
Yeah.
And it's a huge amount of recovery that needs to take place.
Yeah. Well, they've got Peter Thiel very invested in Atai, and he's a very influential individual. I would be in mourning if I lost all that money.
Sure. Yeah. But the key is look at the cups that are standing behind. There is hope here. And I do believe this, and I did say they are a great and could be a very good acquisition target. And I did say that before, but they still got some gold coming here. They're not focusing on it though. This is 2 of Cups energy, which requires equal give and take. Remember I said about the yin and the yang. Yeah. What's necessary, and I'm going to say it again. Need some female energy on that board. You'll see a lot of shifts and changes if she's allowed to really use her power and download some of the magic that's necessary to pull this company out of the depths of just massive losses.
Yes. Yes.
Something to counteract this energy here. The testosterone.
Yeah.
Heavy male situation.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting. It could be another case where maybe they just need to go into ceremony together.
I think
and
so.
See what they get for clarity. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the magic could happen here, Beth. That is absolutely.
There's hope. There's hope. That's the good news.
Yeah, there is hope.
But they're in some interesting waters right now. So we'll keep a closer eye, and let's go back in another episode down the road here and take a deeper dive into what we looked at, the details from February, and
absolutely
really based on their chart and look at the energies of everyone on on the team, and also kind of do a comparison to see who's left the team and who they've switched out. It's not just probably the CFO, it's probably a number of other individuals as well. And also Compass, their CEO there, has switched around. So lots of things moving and changing. So there was one other thing that we had identified. They are doing an R&D update on October 25th of this year, Atai, and which will be really interesting to hear what's happening with all of their phase 2 and their phase 1 and the molecules that they're looking at. But the date that they chose is very interesting. Share with us a little bit more about October 25th.
October 25th is one of the most powerful, significant solar eclipses that we've had in 2022. We've had quite a few, but this one is really, really strong. I don't know why they picked that date. I certainly wouldn't do it because it's like cosmic surgery. Whatever wasn't released will get released that day. Whatever needs to shift, whatever needs to be let go of, whatever needs to come out is going to come out. And the interesting thing that we say about eclipse is that it lasts for 6 months. So it's not like this is a one-time hit thing. Now,
but
if they
presenting it on that day, how do you feel that that's going to impact because they're presenting it that day? Like, how is that going to impact them positively or negatively? Or
I think they're going to have to backtrack because I think some of the data that comes out before that could harm them, could be harmful information that they're going to have to figure out how to explain that on that date because they'll be stuck with it. So I think this is why you need intuitives on your, on your team that would say, this is really not the right date that you would really want to have this type of public platform in such a very difficult, extremely. If you thought the last 6 months was difficult, you haven't seen anything, Beth. This really, and all the astrologers are saying this, really, 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 really. Think of that times 200. That's how difficult this energy is.
Yeah, but are you saying it's starting on the 25th? Or I thought this cycle was coming to a close.
No,
it's just
opening. The Scorpio is double Scorpio. We'll be in a time of the astrological Scorpio, but then the eclipse itself, the moon is also going to be in Scorpio. So it's a double hit.
Okay, got it.
And that energy will last for 6 months.
Okay.
So it's very difficult energy. I know. So that's why I said, if you think it was difficult before this last 6 months, you have no idea. Yeah. But it's things that if you didn't fix it, the universe will. Yeah. So let's see what is going to be fixed. Maybe.
Okay. All right. Good to know. We'll watch for it on the 25th of October.
Yeah, really.
Want to pull a card for that, or are we okay? Do we need to?
Yeah, let's pull one. Let's see what energetically is going to happen. You pick.
Okay. All right. So there's one kind of in the middle. Right there. Yep. Right there. Yep. That one right there.
Okay. We got the Fool card. That's interesting. Okay. All right. Let's just pull another one with that new deck, which we don't know what's going to happen with this new deck. Ooh. Yeah.
There's one that kind of looks purple. I don't think it is, but it's like a bluish purple. Yeah, right
this
there.
One?
Yes.
It's purple. Is that?
Yep.
Karmic. Interesting. What did I say? All the stuff could hit the fan on that day. I think they're going to get blindsided. I think it's a foolish date to have that kind of exposure. I think all their karma is going to come out. I think it's going to be a blindsided situation. Something.
So knowing that they need to give an update about their R&D, what date would you pick? I mean, not specifically, but if you couldn't do it, if you weren't going to do it on the actual date, would you do it a day before? Would you do it a day after? Would you just avoid it completely? And
I have to look at the
because they can't wait. They can't wait 6 months.
No, I understand that, but I wouldn't pick. Let me just see. I wouldn't have picked that date for sure because it's just too heavy. I'd look into their chart and see what would be the best day, but it certainly wouldn't be the Scorpio. It could be that Friday the 28th, which we got a little bit of a Sagittarius. It would really depend on the company's chart. Okay. November the No, absolutely not. Nothing near Halloween, because this is when you have this very, very difficult, deep spiritual energy. This is when all the spirits are closest to the earth. It not the most auspicious time to be, trying to, especially when your stock price is in the situation that it's in now.
Yeah.
It's not auspicious. It's inauspicious.
Yeah.
It's foolish
Yeah. Okay.
not to ignore some of the earth signs, the 3D signs the little dog is trying to show. Like, maybe it's not a good day. But
Well,
don't be
maybe
blindsided.
some of the folks over at Atai will get our message here and find a better date.
Yeah, but again, I would look at their astrology and come up with a more gentle energy to assist them with the plan instead of have it work against them.
Yeah.
And this energy works against them, in my opinion, with this whammy Scorpio. And they're telling you there's some karma, Atai. There's karma coming out for whatever reasons. I don't know what you guys have done, but it may not be in harmony with what you're trying to project on the 25th.
Yeah. Wow. Well, interesting. I'm glad we added that in here. It's another interesting tidbit for them. Okay. Great.
That's for sure.
All right. Well, stay tuned for our next episode and you can find out more.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode. You can get more in-depth information on our Patreon site, Psychedelic Sages.